Look at that. From this to working on it every day for about 4.5 months. So check it out. All right, so from that preview I showed you of 4 or 5 months ago, you probably understand, yeah, it needed a completely restore here. So anyways, all new electrical. So every single wall needed an outlet, switches, the whole bit. So anyways, we went with these lights right here. And then that one was wired up already, so we ended up just putting a new light in there. All new wiring, but anyways, so we got those two there. And then over here, we've got porch light, and then this is here for these four. And then let's see, this bedroom here. So anyway, yeah, this one turned out pretty good. So all new outlets. Put trim in all the way around. So anyway, yeah, this one turned out nice. And then you got the kitchen. And anyway, so I measured it. There's 30 inches there. And we do have to run 220 yet. We have to run a line for the range. But anyway, it's a small house. So yeah, the fridge is just going to sit out a little bit like that. But anyway, yeah, it turned out nice. Everything in this house was trash. But yeah, this was trash. So we ended up putting some lights up in there. This is the one room that we really didn't have to do a whole lot with. Even after the eviction, homeless people were breaking in and still camping out in this one right here just because it was actually decent. So we just put a new light in, some outlets. Same thing. You got a porch light here in the back. And then that light switch for that. And so, yeah, I just got done mudding this. This is one of the few walls that we actually didn't even replace. We just skim coated them. But there was no doors in the whole house. So these are all new doors. There's the bathroom in there. That exterior door is, of course, new. And then this room just got done today. I was saying in a previous video that you get a discount on on wrongly tinted paint, at Lowe's and Home Depot. So yeah, it was half price paint, but I think it's a neat color, and you have to get color on the wall anyway. So, your first coat could be white, first coat could be whatever, and then you end up having to redo it anyways. So, if I was to sell it or rent it someday, somebody can change the color in here. It's not a big deal. So anyways, and then we went with those recessed lights again, and yeah, looks like he went through there and put in a quarter round all the way around, and then I ended up painting it, putting in the trim for the window today. And it is a short house. You can tell I had to cut down that door a little bit. But anyway, I mean, I'm like 6 feet tall, and I've got room. But anyway, my buddy Roger is 6'10". I don't think he'd like this house too much. But other than this low spot in the back, there are 8-foot ceilings up here. So anyway, but yeah, it's pretty much done. Our goal on this house was to get it to 82%. You know what I mean? It's like you could spend a ton of time just putting in a new trim piece right there or different things. So we just kind of picked and chose what we really wanted to spend the money on and try to get the biggest bang for what we could, So it is a brand new door, but seeing that it's been used for 4 or 5 months, it could use a paint job. But yeah, other than just a couple things like that, it's actually pretty dialed in. This room over here is just kind of more storage, and that we do need 2 outlets on this wall and 2 outlets on this wall. And other than that, every single part of electrical has been replaced. So that and power for the range, and that would do it. So anyways, it's a lot of work, rewiring everything and stuff. You end up popping holes in the wall up here so you can fish wire through, and then block it off, mud it up, and then so there's a lot of repair involved when you're pulling wire through the walls and stuff. But all in all, I think it's pretty good for this one. 4.5 months, and it's pretty much done. We still we're gonna do the bathroom. We're gonna redo the bathroom and finish the wiring up and get air conditioning installed. These are here, but really we're gonna put a mini split right here, and then we're gonna put a mini split right here. That way everything just works off of a thermostat. And then let's see, there's air conditioning in that room already with that's one of those new silent air conditioning units. It's amazing, you can't even hear it running. And then this one here has just got a little guy, but yeah, that should be fine. So anyway, but the majority of the house will be air conditioned by those mini splits. But it has huge oak trees that hang off over the house, and it almost requires hardly any air conditioning. This one right here, I suppose it is kind of getting near the colder part of the year, but still it's 85 every day, 83, something like that. And that little guy makes it's fine in here. So the trees make a really big difference. So a lot of this house I ended up getting from the Restore. You know, that one was 10 bucks because there's a little crink in the corner. That one was like 35. They had a ton of these for 25 bucks. So I bought tons of them, you know, one for each window. Had to kind of customize them and cut ones down and everything. These were $117 for a 6-pack at Walmart, and I was getting them for 30 bucks for a 6-pack at the Restore. That one was 15 bucks. I couldn't believe what they had at that store. It was really good stuff. It was brand new stuff. And then let's see, these I got at Harbor Freight. Yeah, they were $300 or $400 a piece or something. And then these I got on Amazon. They were like 75 bucks each. So anyway, I like it. I think it turned out pretty cool. So anyways, but all right, well, there you go. There's the tour. 4.5 months. So yeah, I mean, the list is getting smaller, but it's probably still going to be a while. So anyway, I'll send another update in a month.